Hello Hearties, it's Catherine here of Selling from the Heart. So I work with heart-centered business owners who want to get more clients saying yes please, but without compromising their values or feeling out of integrity in the process. And I just wanted to come on today because there's something that I wanted to talk about that I'm seeing a lot of right now. And I'm really fearing for a lot of small business owners because of this thing that I'm seeing. Now, at the moment, it's the thing that I am seeing that is causing the most, I think is creating the most problems or the most danger, if you like, for a lot of the small business owners in my community. And I'm seeing it over and over again. And I have been since last week. Hello, Kirsten. Hello, Jemima. And it's not this situation with the coronavirus. However, it is connected to it. And this is what this issue is actually that the most dangerous thing you could be doing, or the biggest mistake you might be making right now in the present situation, is actually to be making assumptions about what your clients are thinking and feeling, and making assumptions about whether they can afford to work with you, making assumptions about what they will think of you if you're continuing with your business as usual, doing your usual marketing, doing your sales. And I wanted to talk about this because it's actually your assumptions that are likely to cause you more damage than the actual true situation that we're facing. So we have the situation that we're facing, and there's the reality of that. But then there's how you are layering your own belief system and your own set of assumptions on top of that. And this, I feel, is what's probably going to cause you the most problems. And let me tell you a story, actually. I want to begin by telling you a story. So a number of years ago, near the beginning of this particular business, I was actually doing some freelance sales as a way of bringing in the income as I grew the business. And part of my role was to sell one-day workshops to small business owners. These were typically very much in the space of therapists and healers. And I was selling these £47 workshops, and a lot of people could not afford to come to these workshops. And actually, I'd had a corporate sales career, but this was my first experience of selling to small business owners, particularly in that category of therapists and healer and so on. So hypnotherapists and Reiki healers and nutritional therapists and so on. And so many of the ladies that I spoke to simply could barely afford that £47. And it was the hardest sales I ever did, trying to sell those £47 tickets, because they couldn't afford it. They had no money. They didn't have enough clients coming in. They were absolutely, just didn't have the money. That's what they told me. But when they came on that one-day workshop, the people I was working for made them an offer of a course, a 3-day course that cost £1,500. Now, to my absolute amazement, so many of these ladies, because it was mainly ladies, some gents as well, who had had such a difficult time of paying for that £47 workshop, were without hesitation going up to the back of the room to sign up for this £1,500 course. But then there was another level as well. And beyond the £1,500 course, there was a £10,000 level. And I remember being tasked with the job of calling up somebody who had attended the £1,500 event to have the sales conversation about joining the £10,000 level program. And I remember my belief system at the time. It was like I actually felt a bit cross with the ladies I was working for, because I just felt there's just no point. Like, I know this woman has got no money. Like, she's told me. She didn't seem to me to be like somebody who had much money as well. I formed my own judgment. So from everything that I knew about her and everything I was assuming about her, I felt a bit annoyed that I was having to waste my time making this sales conversation. But they insisted that I did it, and I did it. And as it turned out, in the course of that sales conversation, this lady who I had made assumptions about told me that she had £350,000 in the bank, sitting there doing nothing, and she may as well spend it on her personal development in terms of helping to grow her practice, and she invested that £10,000. Now, for me at the time, that was a huge shock. I'm from a family background where we don't have that sort of money sitting around. And it was absolutely it was like this completely parallel universe for me. This realization that this lady who I didn't perceive as being particularly wealthy had such a large amount of money just sitting there in the bank. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because I also used to get caught up in making assumptions about other people's financial situations, about other people's feelings and thoughts. And the truth of it is that right now, if you're watching this, you've probably got a service to offer and you are worried that perhaps your clients might not be able to afford you. But be very, very careful of making the assumptions about that, because yes, we do have people in the country right now who have lost their income. My partner is one. Right now in the other room, his income has stopped. It stopped instantly last Tuesday. But ask yourself, when you tune in to your client group and those people who you know that you are here to serve and who you are building a business around serving, instead of having a knee-jerk reaction about what's going on, just ask yourself that question. Is my ideal client group struggling right now? Because what you may find is that in your case, they're not. So if we look at this, we have got, yes, some people who have lost their incomes very quickly in the course of a week. But we've got many, many people who still have their full income and they're now working at home. And so in actual fact, for many of you, your ideal client market is both more cash rich than they were 2 weeks ago, and they are more time rich than they were 2 weeks ago. They're more cash rich because they're now not spending on petrol, they're not spending on train fares, they're not spending on going out to restaurants, drinking, shopping sprees at the weekend, trips away, holidays, all of that is paused. They're more time rich because they're probably not commuting. Some of your clients may have been commuting for anything between 1 hour and 3 hours a day in total, so they have their time back. And what this means is that there are many, many people in the country right now who actually have more time and more money to invest. And even if people might be feeling a little anxious or a little nervous right now, and some people will be being cautious and choosing to tighten their belts, for every person who's choosing to tighten their belt, there will be another person who's choosing to invest in their own personal or business development. Myself, as a case in point, I'll do another video to talk about this, but I made an investment at the weekend in a mastermind level program, and I made that investment because it was the right thing for me to do right now, irrespective of what's going on in the world with regards to the coronavirus and any impact that could have on my own business. So my message for you today really is, do not make any assumptions. The only person who knows whether they can afford to work with you or not is the client themselves. It's not your job to decide for them or make assumptions or tell yourself stories. The only person who knows is your potential client. And many people will actually have, like the story at the beginning, many people will have pots of money. I remember when I was out of work, I was struggling with ME, chronic fatigue syndrome. I ended up in a place where I wasn't able to work because I just wasn't well enough and I didn't have the energy. And during that time, I was seeking healing for this health condition. Now, I wasn't earning, and I had a very strong lack mentality. And if you were to ask me, I was pleading poverty left, right and centre. Anyone who would listen, how poor I was, I didn't have any money. What I actually meant was, I don't have any money coming in right now. In actual fact, I had over £100,000 in the bank or in investments. And the truth of it is that during that time, every time I came across something that I really wanted to do, I had the money to do it. And during that time that I was out of work and I was pleading that I was poor me because I have got no money, in actual fact, I invested over £9,000 in a personal development program. I invested probably multiple tens of thousands in retraining myself in various modalities. And I also invested probably over 10,000 in seeking healing for myself for my health condition. So the only person who is going to be able to make a decision about whether they see the value in paying you right now is the potential client themselves. Your job is to serve them by making them aware that you exist, by making them aware of the service that you offer, and where appropriate, making the invitation for them to work with you. That's your job. Your job is not to make up stories about who can and can't afford you, and it's the client's job to decide if they can afford it. And ultimately, it's the client's job to decide if they see the value in working with you right now. Because when a potential client of yours makes a decision to work with you, the decision they're actually making is, for the outcome that I can get, does it feel worth it to me to make an exchange of the money in my bank account for this particular outcome right now? And for very many of you, the answer to that question is going to be yes. Now, I don't want to belittle or to sort of skim over the fact that there is a reality for many people in our population at the moment, as I said, my own partner included, who have genuinely had their incomes wiped out, or who are genuinely in a position where they are fearful of losing their job. There are people in that position, but there are many, many, many more people for whom the only thing that has changed currently is that they are working from home and their income has not changed significantly. And there are many, many business owners whose businesses are strong and that still meet a need during current times. So whether you're serving people in the workforce or serving parents or serving small business owners, there is a very strong likelihood that they are just as well off financially, if not more, and or they have money available should they choose to invest it. And the reason I wanted to do this video is because I have seen and heard, I was doing a Q&A call this morning for someone's community. I've seen this posted in my own Facebook groups. An automatic assumption from people that, oh, people can't afford to work with me anymore. And it's creating a lot of fear. So people in my community being fearful for their own businesses because of the assumptions they're making about other people's ability to continue to pay for their services. And in certain cases, it's true that's the case, but I want you to ask yourself, where are you making assumptions instead of actually allowing your potential client to make that decision for themselves? So I hope this was useful. Do type in and let me know. Type in and let me know if you feel that you have been making assumptions, and if you're going to change that and you're going to decide to not make assumptions, let me know that as well. So, and Claire is saying, yes, I've been wrestling with this all week. I'm so pleased it was perfect timing for you, Claire. It will be perfect timing for lots of other people as well. Don't make assumptions. There is a huge proportion of our population more time rich and more cash rich than they have been for literally years. They're at home. They've got time to work on things, whether it's projects getting kicked off the ground, whether it's working on something they've been wanting to work on for a long time. This is their perfect opportunity, and it's also your perfect opportunity as long as you choose to be there, be available, offer your services, invite people where it's appropriate, and let them make their own decisions. Glad it was useful. Lots of love to you. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.